Good morning! Welcome to Sunday Morning Announcements with the Jocelyn Gray Avatar. If you're with us on Facebook or YouTube, please subscribe to get notifications when we have new videos. If you're with us on Zoom, say hi in the chat. We'd love to say hello back. If you're with us in person, hello everybody here! And if this is your first visit, please sign the guest book either in the lobby or online at oakcliffuu.org/guest. A reminder, every Sunday morning at 9:30, one of our board members is available to answer your questions about the church. We hope you take advantage of this opportunity, either in person or online via Zoom. Today, Mavis Belisle takes the pulpit with Summer into Autumn, a Mabon communion. Without a neighborhood supermarket, our ancestors had to plan and prepare to survive the winter. We hope you can stick around after the service today for Talkback, where we gather in a circle and discuss the service and related topics. For those online, see the Zoom chat at the end of the service for the meeting information.
Avatar Kathy here with a reminder about the special meeting of the worship ministry today at 1:30 in Charity North and online. There's a lot to discuss about October services. Anyone interested in having input, please come. And I have a report on our debut at the Pride in Dallas vendor market last Sunday. We had a blast. Our buttons were definitely a hit, and I think we made some real connections. Plus, we made a little money for the church. Here's a big thank you to everyone who helped make it happen. Same time next year? We'll keep you posted. Speaking of promoting the church, we are considering reordering UUCOC t-shirts. Take the survey and let us know what you think. oakcliffuu.org/t-shirts. Speaking of events, here's a special note from our administrative assistant, Rita.
Hey everybody, the planning team has begun work on this year's Haunted Forest. Eric, this isn't funny. The Haunted Forest is our biggest fundraiser of the year.
Oh, sorry.
We will need help passing out flyers, getting things out of the attic, setting up on the day of the event, tearing down after the event, and we will need trail guides, ghosts, and ghoulies to make our event scary fun. Yeah, that's the spirit. Get it? Spirit. Watch for volunteer opportunities in your e-blast, on channels, and right here on Sunday Morning Announcements.
Remember, all this and more is in your eBlast newsletter. Not receiving the eBlast? Just sign up at oakcliffuu.org/enews. It's that easy. Have you signed up but still aren't getting the eBlast? As our tech guy Scott says, don't forget to check your spam folder and make sure that news@oakcliffuu.org is in your contacts.
Hey all, we need to get caught up on recognizing some member anniversaries. Johnny Chapman joined UUCOC on September 6th of 2016. Jim Clipp joined September 9th of 1996. And Emily Brock joined September 21st of 1997.
That's it for now. Hope you all have a great week.
May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, Spirit of love, compassion, and forgiveness.
This is a Harvest of Gratitude, number 656, words by Percival Chubb. Once more, the fields have ripened to harvest, and the fruitful earth has fulfilled the promise of spring. The work of those who labor has been rewarded. They have sown and reaped, planted and gathered. How rich and beautiful is the bounty gathered, the golden grain and clustered corn, the grapes of purple and green, the crimson apples and yellow pears, and all the colors of orchard and garden, vineyard and field. Season follows after season. After winter, the spring. After summer, the harvest-laden autumn. From bud to blossom, from flower to fruit, from seed to bud again, the beauty of earth unfolds. From the harvest of the soil, we are given occasion to garner a harvest of the heart and mind, a harvest of resolve to be careful stewards of all life's gifts and opportunities, a harvest of reverence for the wondrous power and life at work in things that grow and in the soil, a harvest of gratitude for every good which we enjoy, and of fellowship for all who are sustained by earth's beauty.
Please rise in body and or spirit for our normal turning of the season song.
Summertime has turned the star wheel, autumn is upon us. Summertime has turned the star wheel, autumn is upon us. Sweet the angling sun, sweet upon the air, the smell of blue mist rising. Summertime has turned the star wheel, autumn is upon us. Summertime has turned the star wheel, autumn is upon us. Glorious the trees, glorious the sight of rust leaves falling, falling. Summertime has turned the star wheel, autumn is upon us. And hopefully we'll get cold weather. So thank you.
In our community, we take time each week to share what is in our hearts and on our minds. If your heart is heavy today, know that you don't have to carry that heartache alone. Together, we can offer comfort. For those on Zoom, please share your sorrows publicly by posting them in the chat.
When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love.
We also share our joys with one another, knowing that joy calls unto joy, amplified. Together, our voices can rise in a chorus of celebration. For those on Zoom, please share your joys publicly by posting them in the chat. Welcome to the UU Church of Oak Cliff. Here, we seek to build a community where what you believe is less important than how your beliefs guide and inform your participation in the world. Ours is a community that strives to value the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. To our returning visitors, we are so happy you have joined us again. We know your time is precious, and we're honored to have you here today. We would also like to extend a warm welcome to any of who are joining us for the first time. We recognize the bravery it takes to come into a new place, and we're glad you're here. Ours is a covenantal church, which is Latin for come together. Covenant means a solemn agreement or promise from the heart regarding a course of action between parties. The practice of promising to walk together is the core of our faith. Simply put, it's a guide for the behavior we expect from ourselves and each other. We are bound together by the promises we make to one another, and we recite our covenant during every worship service. Because we love one another, we honor each individual's spiritual journey. We celebrate life's abundance in service to each other, our community, and the world. We connect with each other in love, respect, and acceptance. Thus do we covenant together. Mavis is doing a special Mabon service for us today, so I'm going to let her come up.
In August, Sarah led us in the harvest festival of Lammas, or Lunasa. It is called the festival of grain, of bread. Most of our pagan beliefs, including Wicca, have come from northwestern Europe and the British Isles, which have similar climate and similar customs. Using a solar calendar rather than a lunar one, they divided the year into 8 seasons. The one we come to now is the autumnal equinox, Mabon. It is the festival of fruit. The third, the festival of meat, is celebrated November 1st. Is celebrated the night before, which is Halloween. Celebrating harvest wasn't just for pleasure, for coming together and eating, singing, and dancing. Whether harvests were good, bad, or middling, meant how comfortably they would survive the winter, or even if they would survive it at all. It meant they would make decisions on how many animals could be fed through the winter, and how likely it was they could carry their unborn through the cold. That was also true for the women carrying children, and for the more vulnerable children and elderly. When I was a child, my maternal grandparents lived in southwestern Arkansas. Like much of the U.S. population at that time, they farmed. In that part of the country, they burned wood for heat in the winter and for cooking. With some 30-odd acres, they raised pigs and chicken, drew water from a well, kept a cow for milk, and my grandmother churned butter. She sold the excess butter and eggs for needles, thread, fabric, sugar, flour, the things that did not come off the farm. They kept a mule for plowing and a horse for riding. There was a smokehouse for excess meat and abundant creeks and ponds for fish. They also ate rabbits and squirrels for meat and migratory ducks and geese in season. After my mother left home for nursing school, a government agency brought electricity to the area. My grandmother canned roots and vegetables, made jams and jellies, and in her spare time sewed, embroidered, and quilted. Fabric scraps were traded among neighbors for quilt pieces. My grandfather hunted and fished and brought extra income by training horses and hunting dogs. They were never hungry, and they never thought of themselves as poor. Seasons changed then as they change now. Thursday, I stood with friends in front of Raytheon, protesting their supplying weapons to Israel in this war with Gaza. Many of us wore sneakers and shorts and t-shirts. We will continue to be in front of Raytheon, but soon we'll be wearing jeans, boots, and heavy jackets. My friend Joyce, who made the jelly on the altar with fruits from her family land in Wisconsin, will be making jams and jellies again for pleasure, not need, and sharing them with friends and neighbors. And next month's Jazz Jam is almost certain to have autumn leaves on its playlist. But that's enough talk. Let's prepare and share our Mabon communion and the joy of being together.
Please rise in body and/or spirit.
Come, ye thankful people, come, raise a song of harvest home. Fruit and crops are gathered in, safe before the storms begin. God our Maker will provide for our needs to be supplied. Come to God our temple, come, raise a song of harvest home. All the world is but a field, given for a fruitful yield. Wheat and tares together sown, here for joy or sorrow grown. First the blade and then the ear, in the full corn shall appear. God of harvest, grant that we wholesome grain and pure may be.
In the spring of 2021, we added a second covenant to our weekly worship service. We, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Oak Cliff, commit ourselves to the study and dismantling of racism and oppression within our congregation. We commit our congregation and ourselves to the work of anti-racism and anti-oppression. We commit ourselves to listening, to learning, and to action. When we fail, we commit ourselves to trying again and again. We covenant to begin this work and to continue until all of us can truly say that we are a beloved community of justice, equity, and compassion. The gifts you make to our weekly offering or through your annual pledge represent far more than lines on a spreadsheet. Your contributions are a tangible commitment to the mission and vision of the congregation. The offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts freely given, may we say yes to the values of our faith. Members, if you are contributing cash toward your pledge, please use an envelope from the basket and write your name on it. You can also donate by text or through our website, and you can see our order of service for details.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. Te Dio recibo, a ti te doi, a si
This is Harvesting by Patricia Monahan. Raw winds chafe my face. Raw wind chafes my face, stings my reddening cheeks. Earth warms roots while air brittles yellowing leaves. Light diminishes. I gather and gather and gather. Can I name a single time as harvest? Spring brings seedling lettuce. Early chives, wild morels. Early summer, luxuriance of strawberries. Authority of sorrel, the green snap of peas. High summer, and the trickle swells to a torrent that cascades as fall approaches, and everything ripens all at once. Flying seeds cloud the air. The roadsides are lush with seed heads. Everywhere, promises, promises. I fall behind, inevitably. Beans split open to seed themselves. In leafy shadow, squashes swell, huge and green. Even crows and raccoons cannot steal all the tomatoes. In the crowded garden, I gather and gather. In a delirium of plenty, boundaries disappear. Richness, richness, velvet colors, taste of smoke, sounds soft as alder blow. Effortless work. The seasons of the heart. Death everywhere, feeding life. Life everywhere. I stand for a moment, head bent back, listening to the last call of geese as they skein southwards. Near me, a squirrel falls silent. Then I lift my rake. The squirrel chatters, and gathering begins again. Abundance and choice. Abundance is choice. The cellar is full. Life is full. There is no need for more. Then a row of overlooked peppers calls out, a stand of rose hips, a last flush of strawberries, tiny, deeply sweet. When that white day comes, when all seems done, carrots, still crispen secretly under straw, onions sharpen, sage gleams silver. Harvest is over. Harvest is never over.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.